This playing now is the first demo I did for this project, and I did 3. So we're going to get to all that, and I'm going to go through the creative process of everything I was thinking about as I was building these things. So just hang out, and let's talk a little about the project first. Howdy from hotter than hell, Texas, y'all. Hoping it's not 108 degrees wherever you are, because it's, well, really hot. I'm back at it after a much-needed hiatus. Glad to see you. So let's get right back to it and start with something fun and new. I was lucky enough to be able to make some music for a currently airing TV show called To the Rescue, which is really fabulous because they're helping to raise awareness about the current situation with dog rescue shelters, the wonderful folks that both support and run them, and the dogs that they rescue. I've made some music for these guys in the past, but this time it's just a little bit special because after a very small amount of prodding, they agreed to let me do whatever I wanted to with the clip I was working over and use it for the channel to share with you guys. We both know that was probably a mistake, right?
Oh, what's this? Oh, yum yum. Oh, this is good. Oh boy, electric rose, electric rose. Electric Rose.
So I heard that you guys are getting Electric Rose to write the song for this clip, and it's really cool. I don't really even understand how you got him, but...
Yeah, it's pure luck, and we're totally lucky.
I think that this clip is going to be really cool once the Electric Rose puts his thing on. See, that dog is nice, but, you know,
Yum, yum, yum.
what's cooler is that the music is going to be
Ball.
written by
I got the ball.
Electric Rose. And
Ball. Ball. I need my ball. Ball.
Moral of the story, you give me a clip, I'm going to make some dumb voices on it. Forewarned is fair warned. So this is the clip that I have to work over. It's a really cute little clip. It's just talking about the shelter, some of the problems they have, and I'll bring that in so you can hear what they're talking about.
We have a 96% save rate in the city of Detroit. That's unheard of, never been done before. I'm really proud of that.
Kendrick, come here, boy. So how's Kendrick doing so far?
Kendrick's doing pretty good. His biggest issue that he needs to work on is, as you can see, are his manners.
My manners? What's wrong with my manners?
So you get the idea. This isn't so much a scoring gig as it is just some background music. But I approached it in places like a score anywhere where it would be fun, and it made a little sense, even though this music would be way in the background. A lot of it would wind up being ducked quite a bit for the vocals to take precedence as well. So we're not really looking for a lot of big ups and downs like a score. We're just setting a mood and trying to hold it for the most part with a tiny bit of variation to keep it interesting. Right? Not too tough. Then I had some music in there initially to show me that they were okay with. And I don't have the rights to play that here, so I'm just going to describe it to you real quick. The song itself was really good. But for this particular clip, it really didn't work. It had too many transients in it. It seemed to consist mostly of transients. It was just a lot of drum hits and bass clickiness that was really probably more distracting than anything, pulling the viewer away from what they were needing to be focused on. And this was something I was going to try to avoid in mine. So the first step was to get some creative direction from our good buddy Clark Allen, who's one of the show's producers, and our main contact point for this particular project. Just to embarrass him a little, I'm gonna tell you, it's pretty darn sweet that he and some of the other folks working on To the Rescue won a sweet Telly Award just a few weeks ago for their work on the show. Way to go, guys. I know how hard you've been at it, and if anybody deserves it, you do. After our little creative talk, it was established that number 1, this episode is based in Detroit, home of Motown, so why not maybe something with a touch of Motown vibe? And number 2, they wanted it to sound upbeat and positive, but also have a strong sense of forward motion, of things being done. In this particular case, doing some dog training. I had enough fuel to fly at this point, so it was time to get to it. I decided I would do 3 really quick demos to try to narrow down a vibe that they really liked. You might be surprised by that, but here's the skinny. It's really easy to latch onto an idea early on like this, spend hours on it, riding it into near completion, only to hear,
Nah, not so much.
and then be dismayed by both the rejection and the time you just sank. I've found over the years that communication over subjective things like art and music are extremely limiting, and it's so easy to get off course over a few words. So instead of losing a day or two to one idea, I'd rather take that first day and make 3 or so admittedly quick and rough demos, so we have a definite direction, and then you can massage the idea into something fabulous and TV ready. All right, let's take a quick look at this first demo. So I started out with the idea of just an upright piano doing something that sounds like it could have been from that Motown era. I'm not going to say I know how to write Motown. And I thought it was kind of fun. It was minor, which was weird, because I kind of wanted a major vibe for this, but, you know, I landed here, and it was fun, and I thought maybe we could jazz it up enough so it wouldn't sound so minery, right? So then the next idea was bringing the bass a little bit, right? Because the bass is important for that. Much of what you heard from Motown, right? A lot of it was pretty funky bass. Now, I have a fake bass here, right? I guess it was real at one point. And I'm only going to do that until the end. On my final, I'll put real bass on it. But until then, I'm just whipping out real quick with fake stuff. But I think this sounds really good anyway. This one is the Native Instruments Scarby pre-bass. Whoops. Let me bring it up. There it is. And it sounds really pretty solid. I wouldn't say really. It's not the best thing ever, but it's good. It gets the job done. Yeah, it's fun. And between that and the piano, I had a good start. And the next thing was I just brought in some drums. I did it on 2 tracks here. You see, a lot of times I'll do just a quick thing with maybe a bass and snare, and I'll put everything else on another channel, or there's really no rhyme or reason to it other than split things up a little bit to make them easier to see. The drum set comes from Addictive Drums. I use these things all the time. I think they're really solid. I find myself using Native Instruments drums more often lately too. I just like the variety. But this is the Vintage Dry kit, which I think is a really good one. Judge for yourself. And, you know, that's fun. We have the foundation, and it's just background music, right? So that's pretty solid what we got there. And it's just a demo, right? And then I thought just to add some color to it, we'll bring in a Barry sax, just to get a little skanky with it. And that also is using the Barry from Session Horns Pro, which is another Native Instruments sample library. And I didn't mention at the beginning I used the Maverick piano, also Native Instruments. Yeah, it's a fun sound, right? It's not an upright, but it just has this character to it, right? That I felt was good for the situation. So there you go. That's demo number 1. In case you don't know, this thing making it look fun is Supervision. It's a component of Cubase, and if you don't know what that is, check out my video on Supervision. I'll throw up a link to that right now and at the end. Cool? Alrighty. Okay guys, I don't want to make these too long and abusive, so I'm going to pick up in the next video where we'll go through the other 2 demos that I did, and then we'll go and find out who the winner is, and then we'll just remake that bad boy into something wonderful. Cool? See you over there.